I appreciate a lot of people for very different reasons. The equanimity is a trait that I like in people. The calmness of mind under all circumstances. Like Adam Mockler, when he interviews Mega, does it brilliantly. It's like de-escalation at its best. He's just, his whole way of being is de-escalation. He doesn't, nothing escalates around him. And I like Chris Como. I like the people that are canceled by both right and left. I am certainly not party loyal. And yeah, like everybody else, I'm going to have thinking that is controversial because there is two sides to every story. But I'm looking to reduce the division, spread joy, and connect. We have way more in common than we don't as a species. And yeah, let's dissolve the hatred. Vengeful thinking is addictive, and it takes an active resolution to stop it. After years of being resentful and vengeful thinking towards the ex, because, I walked away from the house, all the financial, everything. The battle I chose was to have equanimous parenting partnership, but that didn't work so well. Once she found out that she, by default, as a mother of a child out of wedlock, has full legal custody, and that was something that she made me fight for. And she made me fight tooth and nail for custodial, which was what was most important to me. And I got, except that I have screwed Daryl out of it by being a failure economically. Oh, spreading the joy and bringing things up that people really ought to be informed about, like economic policy, what the administration is doing, what's going on environmentally. I follow a guy on shipping. I love, I can't remember his name, but he does geopolitical stuff and populations. It'll come to me. Either that or I'll have to follow up with it on the next video. I can see his face. Peter Zahan. I don't particularly care for the level of conviction that he knows everything. And exactly, he's been predicting the fall of China for 10 years. So there's no Dunning-Kruger applied to his thinking, but I do love the analysis he does with demographics of different countries, and a lot of his geopolitical information, but you got to separate that strong opinion stuff from him. And the doomsdayer, and I know that's what everybody's got to do to get clicks. And if you're doing it off the cuff and you're doing it with strangers and you have no idea their political position, you can step on your dick hard sometimes and piss people off. And but I was in a Dominican restaurant doing a pickup. And she was all apologetic that it wasn't ready and that I was having to wait, and how she was having problems with the app. She couldn't extend the time, and she had time to kill. I obviously had time to kill because the meal was going to take another 7 to 10 minutes. And she started talking about more about the app and having to call customer service so that she can get it fixed, and was complaining about not being able to understand them and the accent of, because they outsource their customer service to Bangladesh or India or someplace. And yes, it can be frustrating when you can't understand somebody, and I have always gone out of my way to listen and understand, much like, a different dialect. And, you can pick up different things. And, like, the mother of my child of 17 years, Salvadoran, and that, 14 was when she came here. And if we watched a movie with a strong English accent or Southern accent, she couldn't understand them. So yeah, it takes some effort to listen and understand, and it's like figuring out a dialect, because I'm sorry, I'm American, and as they say, if you know 3 languages, you're trilingual. If you know 2 languages, you're bilingual. And if you know 1 language, you're an American. So, calling out the hypocrisy, I hesitated a little bit, and I said, as a Dominican, in a Dominican restaurant on U.S. soil, you should be careful about not understanding one's language. Even though, or dialect or whatever it is. Could have gone over not so good, it could have been dicey, but I ended up making a good friend that gave me a free Dominican meal on my way out the door. So I don't know what the point of that is, other than sharing how one can be, how my commitment and how I want to be in the world, be known in the world, and stimulating conversation. Much like the woman over at INSA that had no interest in hemp ban and how it's going to affect, and she could care less whether she had that job or not. And then not a week or so later, she came up to me and said, how did she put it? Because I love how she put it. You have me asking questions in rooms I otherwise wouldn't, which I did my job. That's the impact, the difference I want to make in the world. And I want your support. Those that are financially able to, pony up. Those that have progressive thinking and talk the talk, well, walk the walk. Support me in doing what I best can do. Because, like I say, the conversations I've had over at my favorite Starbucks, I would love to invite at least 2 of them, if not more, or, fuck the whole damn store, for coffee. Obviously not at Starbucks, but there's a Joho's down the street that I would check and see how they would feel about it. But yeah, for one, there's not a chance in hell I could take the time off of doing what I'm doing to make the meager living I'm making. If I had resources, yeah, I would buy them lunch and promote unions and take all of the contacts out of the 6 stores, 8 stores that I frequent. I would expand that, because then I wouldn't have to be doing the delivery. I'd just be going to Starbucks and rallying people and doing the soft sell approach where I spread the joy. And plus I know that they swap stores now and then, so the network could be expanded incredibly, and we could unionize the Starbucks up here. So that's just one of the many things that I am looking to do. And it takes resources. And yes, I've got to take care of my 15-year-old. If you are really concerned about the next generation, help me and my son as well. I know no individual, I don't know how it's structured, or I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to ask for it. I don't know how to sell that I am worth keeping out there and active and making the impact, expanding the impact I'm interested in. Take me under your wing. I think I tell a good story. I am open to coaching and expanding on that.